Welcome back, ladies and gents, to the Grill Team. It's Whip McGregor here. As you all know, over the course of the past few weeks, we've been interviewing promising athletes who have decided to take up a career in the field of teaching. Now, I've got 2 kids of my own, so I recognise the importance of having good role models in a child's life, not to mention the benefits gained from an active and healthy lifestyle. In the studio today, we've got Looh Matheson at Charles Sturt University way out in Dubbo. How are you today, Luke? Yeah, no, very well, thanks, Whippet. It's a real pleasure to be here. Now, Luke, you were... Whippet, physical activity in sports have played a major role in my life and have been extremely important in shaping who I am today. My first foray into sport came at 4 years old when I played in the local mini league competition in Nyngan. That was designed to introduce people into rugby league in a safe way, whilst teaching them, the basic fundamentals and skills needed as they grew older. Through playing mini league, I'll carry a basic set of fundamentals that, I use to this day. They include friendship, camaraderie, teamwork, leadership skills, respect for teammates, opponents and officials, physical skills, and a bit of self-discipline, patience and persistence. As I got older, rugby league remained my #1 sporting priority. And through playing that, I've gained, a lot of lifelong friendships, a lot of new friendships and, a lot of individual awards. Played cricket. I was a keen participant in swimming and athletics carnivals at school. Through that, I decided to participate in a swimming club and Little A's outside of school, just to maintain that competitive edge. Little A's saw one of my crazier accomplishments. We were in Finley for a regional carnival. Put my name down for the hurdles, which was an event I've never competed in. Snuck into the final in last place, slowest. But ran the race of my life in the final. Finished second, made it to state. Came dead last at state, but, the experience is something I'll cherish for the rest of my life. Spent a great amount of time playing team sports, touch football, ice tag, soccer, netball, tennis, golf, lawn bowls. Also, had a crack at that. Today I play rugby league, play cricket, play touch football, and play netball. Also, I like to stay fit, and I'll go for a run or a ride, 5Ks most days if I can find the time and motivation. Now, mate, I'm sure a few of our listeners are curious as to why you chose these activities. Did you have any real influences growing up? Yeah, Dad was the primary reason I fell in love with rugby league. As a kid, I watched him play dummy half for the Tigers every week, and I'd go to most of his training sessions. Footy was also always on on TV at home, and I look back at old photos and I've always got a footy in my hand or a footy Guernsey, so from an early age I was hooked. Almost all my close friends played as well, so that was the reason for rugby league. Dad moved into coaching as I got older. That kept me interested in the game, and it provided a tremendous opportunity for father-son bonding, and that's something I'll never give back. Dad played cricket, that had me interested there, and both Dad and Mum played touch football, so I guess that's what sparked my interest there. Athletics and swimming, we had to do them at school, so that's what had me interested there. The fact that I was successful, that's what led me to do Little A's and swimming club. Sounds like you and the old man got a pretty good relationship, mate. We've got a Grill Team listener, Donk, on the line. Donk, you got a question for Luke? Hey, Matto, great interview, mate. Just curious, did your choice of sport or physical activity change with age? If so, why? Yeah. Cheers for listening, Donk, if that is your real name. Age has, it impacted my choice in sports somewhat. Little A's and swimming club, I stopped that as soon as I hit high school because it was no longer considered cool by my friends. It was considered something for little kids. Still love rugby league though, although age has impacted it because, it's led to most of my mates moving away for either work or study. So that's taken some of the enjoyment out of that. Age also brings, study, work, and maintaining relationships. So that impacts upon your free time. Cricket is something that's been hindered there because it takes up an entire Saturday, and it's just time I can't really find. What are your current attitudes and feelings towards physical activity? Physical activity is something I find to be, it's the utmost importance when it comes to maintaining a physically and mentally healthy well-being. It's proven that 30 minutes of exercise each day dramatically decreases the risk, of a number of diseases such as cancer, heart disease, diabetes, stroke. It can also improve self-esteem and reduce depression. I come from a family that's, we've had a lot of heart disease. Both my nan and pop, they've had heart attacks requiring bypasses, and my father and uncle, they both require regular checkups at the doctor just to keep their heart, looked at. So, I recognise the need to stay fit and healthy and, have an active diet and, a regular exercise pattern. How do you reckon these feelings will influence how you teach PE at the K to 6 level, mate? Well, I'm extremely passionate about all things sports and physical activity. PE was also my favourite subject throughout primary and high school, so I love getting out and participating in practical activities. I gained, a lot of valuable knowledge when it came to the theory side of things as well. This will obviously impact positively upon my teaching of PE in the K-6 context, as I'll be able to use the knowledge I've gained through my experiences in a number of different sports, as well as my participation in the subject throughout school, to impress upon my students the importance of a fit and healthy lifestyle. The growing importance of a healthy diet and regular exercise is something I'm well aware of, and a message that I really want to pass down to future generations. One thing that I've neglected to mention is that I'm a qualified personal trainer. I completed Certs 3 and 4 in fitness back in 2009 at Newcastle TAFE. The knowledge and experience I gained through my studies in this field, it'll hopefully serve my students well once I've completed my university studies and jump into teaching. I'm really liking your attitude towards PE, mate. What are your thoughts on the ideal PDH PE teacher? How should they look? How should they dress? Whippet, I've grown up watching a heap of American TV and movies. So the classic image of their PE teacher, it always springs to mind. Obviously, they have a very sporty sort of look. I keep getting the image of a tight polo shirt, shorts that stop just above the knee. They'd be wearing a cap. They'd have a whistle around the neck and a clipboard in hand. They'd have white gym socks, pulled up mid-shin. And, you'd have obviously a pair of Nikes on their feet or something like that. They'd obviously have an athletic build, which would give off an image of fitness and health. I think this is important, as it shows that the teacher believes in the healthy diet and the regular physical activity that they preach upon the students. Probably the ideal PE teacher for me, it'd be Coach Eric Taylor off Friday Night Lights. That's a TV show. If any listeners, if they've seen the show, they'll know what I'm talking about. How would he or she act? What types of things would they be saying to the students? Ideally they'd have a happy and friendly demeanour that puts the students at ease, encouraging them to participate in activities and class discussions. They'd lead a healthy, active lifestyle that they'd attempt to pass on to their students. They'd have great communication skills and have the ability to explain things in an easy to understand way. Ideally, they'd be the ideal role model for kids. Obviously, being happy and friendly, they'd have students at ease. So the types of things they'd say in the classroom, it'd be, "Good morning, guys. We've got a really fresh and exciting lesson planned for today. I think we'll have a lot of fun and we'll learn many helpful, important things." Having a warm and inviting classroom, it always get the best out of students. I think it always did for me growing up, through school. So, what skills and abilities do you think the ideal PE teacher would have? Gallagher outlines a set of characteristics and traits that a PE teacher should possess, and I'm in agreement with the majority of them. They need to be fair. They must be informed. They need to be understanding. They should always come prepared, be very resourceful, and they should, maintain a certain realism in the classroom, just to ensure that all students can carry out what is expected of them, in a truly confident way. They should be well versed in a number of sports and have the ability to demonstrate, the numerous activities their students will be required to partake in. They should have the confidence to firstly direct the children in learning new things, as well as helping them progress and further their skills. Now, Luke, along with skills and abilities, what knowledge do you think the ideal PE teacher should possess? With it, there's no doubt a PE teacher should be very well versed in all areas of the curriculum and syllabus, and they should know how to teach to it. But they also need to be aware of all OH&S standards and regulations, to ensure all their students are safe at all times when undertaking activities. Another thing that come in handy would be a knowledge of a number of sports and athletes and their backgrounds, just in order to connect with the students on a more personal level. Mate, there are some god-awful stereotypes associated with PE teachers getting around. What are the first ones that spring to mind for you? As I mentioned before, I always get the picture of the classic American gym teacher. So that in itself is a stereotype because, he's always male. But, off the top of my head, I've heard from different people that PE teachers, they're people who are fit, coordinated, competitive, muscular, healthy and friendly. But, generally the main one is the gender stereotyping and the fact that PE teacher, should always be male. But I think if we can overcome that, progression will, yeah. Now, mate, taking everything into account, especially with regards to the image and characteristics of the ideal PE teacher, how do you feel you match up personally? How alike or different are you to the person you've described? That's a real good question, mate. Jeez. Yeah, well, looking at the characteristics and traits that I listed earlier, I've got an athletic build. I've got a pretty strong posture. I dress well. My diet's not too bad, I suppose. And as mentioned, I like to keep fit by maintaining a regular exercise routine. I reckon I'm a pretty friendly guy. I can communicate on a number of levels, especially due to my background in a number of different sports. I definitely got work to do with regards to understanding the syllabus and also having the ability to explain things clearly and concisely. But, that's something I'm really willing to work hard on over the next couple of years before I jump into teaching. How do you feel about teaching PE in the K to 6 context at this point? Well, PE is probably the subject I'm most looking forward to teaching. It's a subject that I derive great pleasure from, and a subject I'm confident in. The chance to help improve the lives and knowledge of children is something I really look forward to doing. I've still got a ways to go before I'm truly ready, but through practice, drive, and persistence, I'm more than confident I'll get there. Last question, big fella. What role do you feel PE plays in the learning and education of kids today? We'll discuss the need for the population to increase participation in physical activity. Generally, mainly due to technology and fast food, and the obesity epidemic that's striking the globe. But I reckon if we can help the children of today recognise the importance of healthy diet and regular exercise, I think we can combat some of these problems well into the future. PE teaches kids how to exercise correctly and safely, which forms of exercise will provide the most benefits, and what to eat to ensure their body's fueled to undertake this activity. There's many more areas of importance that'll help children in the future, I'm sure, but that's the best I can do off the top of my head anyway. Well, it's been a real pleasure having you here, big fella. Good luck with your studies into the future, and hey, good luck in becoming the ideal PE teacher. Cheers, Whippet. Thanks for having me on, and thanks to the listeners for tuning in.